Doctor, if you're struggling to grow your practice, I want to show you something that's really important. You have a sales and marketing loop active in your practice, whether you like it or not, whether it's going well or not. This is just part of life as a business owner, especially in dentistry. We want a patient to discover us, and that's going to be point A, visibility. They found you somehow. They heard about you from a friend. They saw an ad, whatever it is, and we want them to go to point B where they say yes. And we want that to be very linear, don't we? We want to put $1 into the marketing machine and have a patient pop out every single time. Of course, it doesn't work that way, but subliminally, I think we talk ourselves into thinking that that's how it should work, and just is never going to be reality. The reality is the process is not nearly that linear, and it's more of a loop. On the cover of my book, it's represented as an infinity symbol. Visibility is important. It's usually one of the main ways that people discover you. That's going to be in search, on chat like OpenAI or Perplexity. It could even be via social media. They discover you. Well, then next they need to find you attractive. They need to like what they see and say, I want that. I want that outcome. I want that experience. I want that feeling. And that's likely going to take multiple pieces of exposure. They're going to need to stumble across your website and hear about you multiple times. When they do, we want them to contact you. Your marketing needs to include calls to action, needs to make it simple for people to schedule an appointment. Your team needs to make that scheduling a priority. Everyone needs to have the opportunity to understand how different you are than the office next door, the office down the street. You all have unique selling propositions, things that make some patients better fits for you than others. Don't assume that the person on the phone is not a fit. Instead, assume that they are. Make room for a conversation and get them in the door for a consult at least. Your new patient exam is the patient's first exposure to you in a clinical setting. And so that needs to go really well. It needs to be actually a sales event where not only are you making records, but you're making a first impression on what treatment's going to be like there. So you need to just wow the patient. The treatment plan needs to be more than single tooth dentistry. You need to present options, and it needs to be done well if you want people to say yes. Once they say yes, you need to provide excellent service. Now, this seems like a no-brainer, but we need to just have a frank talk and say that in some of your offices, you've let some things go by the wayside in the name of profitability. Office decor, cranky team, just certain things like even just the smell of the office or how old the carpet is. You've got to take away all the excuses that people might have to say, let me think about it. Instead, they'd be like, oh, wow, I have an opportunity here. I really want this. Let me figure out how I can make that work. Once they've had that amazing experience, you want to prompt them to share that. You want to ask for permission to share their story, their photos. If you don't do that, if you don't step out of your comfort zone and say, hey, your results are amazing. And the funny thing is, we see it all the time, but people don't know about it. Could we share your story? Because you look fantastic. And people don't understand that this type of dentistry is available. Or your story is amazing. You were in such pain before, and now you feel good and you love how you look. Can we tell people about that? And they're bound to say yes. They won't say yes if you don't ask. Ask the patient to share it themselves. Give them photos and ask them to tag you on social media. They might say no. Who cares? What's the harm in asking? But if you don't ask them to share their story, share their photos, share it with their friends, and ask the patient to refer their friends and family to you, you're missing out on an opportunity. And if they say no, it's an opportunity for you to improve because you'll discover, uh-oh, I have a problem in my sales and marketing loop that I didn't know about before. Stay in touch with the patient. 3 or 4 months down the road, 6 months or more, you may not be top of mind for them if you're not doing all of this stuff, if you're not sharing photos. And staying in touch could be email newsletters, cards on birthday or whatever, letting people know about your membership plans if you've got them, even if it's things that you think, well, we just did that 6 months ago. It's all right. It's another impression because remember, marketing is an exercise in memorization. Every single patient that walks through your door has just joined your sales force. And if you think of it that way and you think of, we just want to stay on their radar, not trying to be annoying, but people aren't going to be annoyed to where they say, I'm not going to go back there. They're going to just think, oh, yeah, gosh, I got to get on that. I haven't been back for my hygiene appointment. Or, yeah, I really should tell dad about that because he's got this problem and I know they can help him. If you stay in touch with them, they're going to be more likely to tell people about you, and that's going to drive more prospective patients to your practice. That's also going to mean that when they Google dentist near me and see your brand, they'll remember, oh, yeah, I talked to Donna about that a couple months ago. I guess I'll check them out rather than maybe looking at your website and leaving and going to check out other websites, or maybe dropping you an email along with a bunch of other offices. No, they're going to know about you and say, yes, I want that. These guys are the practice for me. And they're going to call. So your marketing may be part of the problem. If your visibility is suffering, that's a hole in your sales and marketing loop. But is it possible that you have some other holes and that maybe your marketing plan isn't the problem? At Pro Impressions Marketing, we do fantastic marketing, but I'll be the first one to tell you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and make sure that your practice is primed for the type of marketing that can make a major impact on your bottom line. That's what we do.